So, guys, the U.S. lawmaker Ray Moore is urging Donald Trump to divide Nigeria if he wants to save the Christian communities. Now, see how this headline captured it. It says, U.S. lawmaker to urge Trump break up Nigeria or watch Christians die in genocide. Nigeria is the deadliest place on earth to be a Christian. Open Doors 2026 report 3,490 Christians killed in 2025. That's 70% of the global total. That's 70% of Christians dying in Nigeria. Over 7,000 in the first 220 days. More than 7,000 people have died in Nigeria because of the Fulani terrorists and all the rest of them in the north. And 60,000 plus since 2009. U.S. lawmakers are set to brief Trump and provide options to end the Christian genocide in Nigeria. And one of the options is divide Nigeria and let the Christian communities, the Southeast is mostly Christians, you know. The South are mostly Christians while the North are mostly Muslims. So guys, we don't know how this is going to be, but this is what is now the news. I'm just going to allow you to take a look at this reaction on this headline, Trump to divide Nigeria. You know, let me know your honest reaction in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification for more. Now take a look.
Start highlighting interest in Nigeria concerning the Christian genocide. The first thing Daniel Bwala said when he went to visit several media outlets, he said it was IPOB. That was the first thing he said, that it was IPOB that was circulating that information. And now, eventually, after, you know, what happened 2 days ago, where we heard that the Nigerian government was lobbying to supposedly give an accurate information of the security situation in this country so they don't go with the myopic one, we're hearing about this report. I've tried to check most news outlets for now. As of today, I haven't seen it, but only the cable has published it. How would you react to this?
For me, that's just like trying to like shift attention or divert attention. You know, so it is not something that anybody should give serious attachment to. America cannot work on a single information, reports or data. You forget that they have their CIA, their intels, their people here, and so many other means of galvanizing information and news for them to be appropriately and precisely informed before taking action. Well, some people reside in US, some people reside in UK, some people stay. I mean, priests are there, even the Choko and so many priests. I mean, these things are things that we see the videos, we see communities coming out to cry, we see mass burials. We see, I mean, I don't even know why somebody will raise this as an issue. You know, these people, Bwala and the rest of them that they hired.
Just on the 17th, we saw an entire family killed.
So,
just like that. A woman has 6 children.
Sometimes they take Nigerians as people that are dollars, that are stupid people, that they can come up with one epileptic kind of analysis, and Nigerians will just absorb those things and then fly with them. Are we fools? I served in Plateau. I know what happened in Plateau. I know villages in Plateau that were raided. And we saw villages that were raided, and then the names were changed from the original ancestral names to Islamic names.
Do you think
we saw people coming up to carry out these activities, and they shout. They shout aloud, back or whatever. They don't hide it. So the young man in Onisha might have provided his own data to support whatever Americans will also rely on. And these are things America will verify, will review, will scrutinize.
And if you recall during the gathering,
when accepting that,
when the US was investigating, they held a Congress where they needed to listen to the Nigerian government. We saw live evidence of persons. Exactly.
But the problem we have in Nigeria is that whatever that happens in Nigeria, an Igbo man must bear the brunt. They will still find a way to go around and go around and go around and go around and find a way to hang it on an Igbo man. It's a problem that we Igbo have to deal with.
This cannot be accepted to
have to deal with.
An Igbo
when
person.
There was NSAS in Lagos, 2 Igbo people set ablaze 200 buses. Imagine that miraculous kind of thing. 200 buses were set on fire by only 2 Igbo people.
That was a claim.
That was a claim. But we knew what happened during NSAS. But at the end of the day, it was only 2 Igbo boys that set ablaze 200 BRTs. Just imagine. The one that happened in Abuja during time of Wike, the robbery took over in Abuja. They paraded somebody that was paraded already in Lagos as an Igbo man responsible for that robbery. Before we now began to see people that were responsible for robbery in Abuja, in as much as Nigerians will still find a way to shift their problems to an Igbo man, they will not find solutions to their problems. Nigeria will keep on going down. Be open-minded, be transparent in analyzing whatever problem you have as a country and deal with it. Stop finding a way to shift blames. We are living with genocide in Nigeria. We are aware of that. I served in Plateau. I can speak some of their languages. I know my boys have been killed. I know those that helped me during my NYC. I won state honors award there. I know so many other local governments. I was into awareness and orientation or whatever under EFCC to take a message of anti-corruption. So I 17 local governments. So I know the place. So this is not something that people will begin to say somebody said. America is not like a country that will begin to rely on unverified data. They can't make so. Is it the first time America is going to war outside America, outside the American soil? They have their intel. They have people around. They have people on ground. They pay people for information in Nigeria. They have people in high places that give them the information they want.
But
I mean, just to divert attention.
Okay, so the question, because I'm wondering, Trump has done what he did. He has said that if the Nigerian government is not precise and decisive in handling this from their body language, there would be another airstrike. Yes. But we've seen the movement of the Nigerian security. I mean, you've seen the Minister of Defense granting interviews and saying that he has told his guys, if you know that this is who they are, do your shooting, shoot at sight. There is no waiting to investigate. You know, you do what you need to do. We've seen how
America saying America worked on unverified data, and the data that is not that doesn't. I mean, do you know what that means?
Does it mean that there is a political agenda to this? Because the US has a way of going through their own training, finding out their own information, going through their route. Yes, exactly.
This kind of embarrassing information should be dealt with. It's indicting US as a country with the level of their technology and every satellite and everything they have.
But I want to ask something. Since the saga of lobbying American president or whatever, have you ever had the American government debunk such an information?
About what?
About lobbying, against trying to cover it that the Nigerian government has been lobbying to make sure.
Lobbying is normal.
No, but even if it's normal, because I know it's normal, but it depends the angle. It depends the angle, not this open day light issue that everybody
they do it, because according to what we heard, that the Biafran group has also been lobbying.
As per lobbying, most of this news, like he says, supposed to be verified.
Yes,
it's supposed to be verified. And most of when they carry out some of these things, and we know that Nigerian government, particularly this APC government, has been.
But that Simon Ekpa made all these statements on social media,
where
they were contributing and saying that this was part of what they were trying to do, to give all the verifiable information to the American government when he was in Finland, that the Southeast or Biafra needed to have his own country, to find its own way. So they've been pushing this.
To push is one thing, and for American government to accept it and work with it.
And also for you to know, because there was an investigation I did, I found out that most of these things they would tell you they have gone to UN.
They
didn't go anywhere. I've said this in time without number, telling our Igbo people these things are propaganda.
So you're saying that these people were taking advantage of them?
Yes, I myself did an investigation both in US. I found out that they didn't submit anything.
So you mean all the contributions and dollars and euros that were made online?
These things are scam. I'm telling you.
Saying that Simon Ekpa scammed his followers?
Yes. Authoritatively, I did personal investigation. I found out that they didn't submit anything to massage the people, and people will be carried away with what they are doing.
Barrister Joe, seriously? All that money was not used for what they promised was going to be used for? We saw an entire conference of what
is the legitimacy of what they are doing? What is if actually have taken time to read how a country can be given independence? Have taken time to read that, it will open your eyes. International convention will open your eyes to know that these guys were like scamming people. You see, before you talk of giving Biafra independence, you have to look at the number of population of Biafrans that willingly submitted to that agitation.
Okay.
No, sir. Let me before you continue. You will continue. Please. Let me give him info. He will continue. You know that the people that we gave a sovereign power, that's Ojukwu, was able to pronounce that, and the world listened to him. We have governors, we have rep members. That are the people that are supposed to start this agitation by calling.
That's I'm coming there because for you to do that, you must make sure that there is this level of dissatisfaction of that section of people from the present country they belong to. You must establish a fact that they have been constitutionally deprived of what belongs to them.
Okay.
Not appointments, kitchen cabinet appointment, which are the whims and caprices of the president. You can choose anybody, hire and fire. But they must deprive the people of the Southeast their own slot as ministers. Whether states or minister for state or minister for whatever, they have to deprive them of that. They have to deprive them of their slots for ambassadors. They have to deprive them of certain constitutional provisions, the right to like exist in other parts of Nigeria, the right to own a house, build a house and live there, the house to get employed in federal government parastatals. There will be like a clear-cut agenda that no Igbo man will be employed in any federal government parastatal. These are the things that you have to like prove, and many of them. The right to like exclude Nigerians entirely from federal security apparatus. I mean Igbos. Entirely from security apparatus. Then the governors will also not be interested in contesting the election under this constitution of Nigeria or this name called Nigeria. No Igbo man will go to House of Reps. No Igbo man will go to Senate. No Igbo man will pick up any ministerial appointment in Nigeria. And no Igbo man will be like in the rank of Commissioner of Police or Major General or Lieutenant General, whatever, in the Army or the Navy. These are the things that you must prove to show that your people are ready to leave that country. They must show it. They must resign from their ministerial, their appointments within that country that they don't want to be part of. So when you look at all this, you look at are Igbos actually dissatisfied with from Nigeria? When the Biafran thing was going on, and woman many of them were IGs of police. Some of them were former IG of police. Some of them were like chief of naval staff. Is it naval staff from Enugu State? He was there, and people are still building houses in Lagos. People are building houses in Abuja. They own their markets in many places. Nobody has gone there to push them out. They are in the parliament. There are senators there. Ojo was chief whip of the Senate. Some of them in House of Reps. The deputy speaker of House of Reps. They've not been removed. They've not been deprived of their constitutional rights. They were ministers. They gave them all their slots as ministers. You have to prove all these things before you now say, okay, the world will now listen to you. But when you don't have all these things, and then the little one you are trying to do, which is sit at home, you are forcing it. I mean, like I was saying, Americans actually have intels in Nigeria. America is interested in information more than any country in the world. They spend millions of money. They buy up people, train up people, and put them inside offices for them to give them information of any country they want.
And call and
any country of the world. That's why they are police watchdog of the world. They spend money doing that. They don't rely on what you tell them. They have their own information network. In this they might just come here for holiday for whatever. They are spying you. That was why at the point in Russia they even banned Jehovah's Witness for moving around from place to place. They use so many things to spy any country of the world.
But Barrister Jerome Woke.
So now the point is that these people pushing for this, they know that Igbos have not gotten to that level. They were trying to like force sit at home. The sit at home, they know the sit at home that people willingly submitted to, and the one that they were trying to like impose people. When you're using gun and bullets and whatever to force people to sit at, Americans are aware of that.
But they say those people are not the Igbos. They're people who were imported by the Nigerian government.
No matter however you call it, they know that if you give people their full freedom, they'll come out and do their business from Monday to Friday. They know people are not happy. People talk. People talk in their groups and whatever. They know all these things. That's why I said that. Look, like what my friend here rightly said. When it was time of Ojukwu, if you look at the delegation of people that Ojukwu sent, Michael Okpara them, K.O. Madiwe them, this man, do you know of Akanibiam them? You look at caliber of people that if you see their portfolio, if you see their profiles, professors, doctors, people that schooled abroad, people that held so many posts and whatever, former director of the CKG, and these are powerful people that the world will listen to. And by then, we severed every of our contact or whatever with Nigeria. Defined our territory at that time. And we have a reason to do that. Massively, people were killed. Bodies were coming down in
from other regions.
And Ojukwu told Gowon to stop this. Gowon couldn't stop it. Several times stop the killings. Gowon became incapacitated because northern interests overwhelmed Gowon. So the killings continued. So don't allow Ojukwu to wait and then see all his people annihilated. So he has to like declare a republic to protect the people. That was how it came up. And he has even the weapon. He was controlling a region They have their paramilitary and everything, their weapon and everything.
So in other words, if that kind of
so
if what they're agitating for was what it was that time, it may have been considered.
It was actually just like the governor of Southeast now met and said they want Biafra.
Thank you.
That was what Ojukwu them did. Just like governor of Southeast now met in anywhere and said, look, we don't want Nigeria again. Nobody should go to House of Reps. Nobody should go to Senate. Nobody should go become an ambassador. Nobody should do all Igbos in Abuja, whatever. Come back home. We don't want this thing again. Until when it gets to that level, before you now know that this is something that being considered. But all these guys, what they were doing, I told them, I've actually led protests against Igbo interests.
Okay.
I've done it when
You've
I was
led
in school.
protests against or for Igbo interests?
No, people like something that's against Igbo interests.
Okay.
I protested because it was things that when the South African Igbo woman was killed in South Africa, I led protests to South African embassy at Victoria Island to protest it. Okay. That was the origin of xenophobia. That was what stopped xenophobia. People are calling me from Namibia, from Angola, from South Africa, from Zimbabwe, from many places. Before you know, other African countries became emboldened and began to fight South Africa all over the world. I was the one that led protests that sparked off anti-xenophobia attacks. And that's since that time, South Africa, because we threatened to burn MTN and so many things they have, all of Shoprite had so many of them that day. It was viewed even globally. Our protests at Victoria Island and so many other things.
So are we saying that you mean that innocent Nigerians were ripped off their hard-earned money for something that had not even begun?
Because these things are like psychological
manipulation.
Warfare. Yes, because they're just like something that every man is volatile because we lost a war.
Yes.
So in our mind, we believe that there is something that we're supposed to have. We are not getting. So emotionally,
are you saying it's in our mind?
Yes,
it's not the reality.
Emotionally, we have that entitlement.
Okay.
There's a place that is even what is affecting us politically. But you watch how when Jonathan became president, we're almost fixed in strategic places.
Yeah.
So what we need is political solution to our problems and not basically all those things. When Nigerians provoke us to the level that we needed to pull out of Nigeria, we will know. When that time comes, we'll deal with it.
Okay.
But now what we need to do is to align politically and get into office.
So would you say now that Nnamdi Kanu got it wrong in the method with which he was advocating for
We cannot say that Nnamdi Kanu got it entirely wrong.
Okay.
Because I was the one that argued for his bail.
Okay,
in
the first time
on Channels Television. I was staunch supporter of Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay.
Very, very well. But the only problem I have with Nnamdi Kanu is not knowing when to put a break or pause.
Okay.
When he started, I was very enthusiastic. So let us have a force in Southeast that can add to our political voice. So we'll have that bargaining power that will enable us to talk and Nigeria will listen. Since it seems that Nigeria listens to such a group like OPC, like Niger Delta militants and whatever.
And Arewa.
Yeah, Arewa. Let us just have something that will add force to the voice of our politicians, so they'll not just be toothless bulldog. But I was seeing it as political instrument that will be used to negotiate a better platform for people of the Southeast.
Okay.
When 2019 came, and then now we are being above board. The late one bears a call and they didn't listen. The dwarf team. So many governors
elders called and he refused
I was
to heed.
What are you now doing? Are you now above all these elders? Even the one that died, Amechi that died, that former minister of aviation, they didn't listen. Then I began to look at it. I said, look, this is becoming selfish pursuit. OPC did their own. Eventually, they metamorphosed into 1999 election. Obasanjo became president. They withdrew. Emmanuel Renta did their own. Eventually, Jonathan became president, and they used it for whatever. Jonathan became vice president. That vice presidential slot that was given to Jonathan will have been given to Igbo people. So because of the activities of men,
yes,
that they now said, okay, let us just appease people of this. It has always been that Northern and the Igbo people, the North and the Igbo people. But the thing shifted to appease people of the Niger Delta because of that men or whatever. They did it. So I thought that we were coming up with something but now we now discover that look, they are pushing beyond level. I said, okay, put us pause. Let us review this thing. It can't be a vehicle on a high speed without brake. Because we are going to destroy yourself, explode. And eventually they didn't listen. I said it. In our inner caucus, they couldn't listen. And now eventually that vehicle exploded. Hit the iron and then exploded. And then the relevance is no longer there. At the point, Igbos now became angry and then began to fight even the so IPOB that they adored so much. If you're masquerade, you dance in the market square after a while, you go back. when they see you so much in a market square, you lose the relevance. So that was actually what happened. When Kanu was like being above almost all the other opinions in the South, I became dissatisfied.
Do you think that's why the Southeast governors refused to back him up?
They have a reason to back up, because there must be a collective pursuit of the progress of an Igbo man. Once everybody's coming, say, come, let us sit together. You are thinking that you have advantage of young boys, thousands of young boys, uninformed young boys that carry guns or whatever that can wreak havoc. And because of that, you can no longer listen to anybody. There are so many ways to deal with situation. So those people will tell you, they say have a way to deal with you, to cage you. Because if you have listened, and like look at Sunday Bohona, I watched a clip that Sunday Bohona is returning. When he came and he was running away, people were, when they told him stop, he stopped. Now there is likelihood of terrorists encroaching Yoruba land, and they call him to come back. Just some point. Even the operation of Ononga, I said, okay, look, what you are doing is good. Chase all these people out of our farms or whatever, if they are causing problem to our farmers and the rest of them. But then don't take this as a profession.
Okay.
Don't go and live inside the bush, because you become broke, and then whichever way to raise money you will do it, whether illegal or illegal. Form like a group that will be like if you look at what happened in Port Harcourt, when some set of people saw Fulanis or whatever that wanted to give trouble, the one group they killed all of them.
Yeah.
Do you know those groups? Do you know how they operate? Do you know who they are? Do they tell you they live inside any bush? That is how to handle situations. If you have a security arrangement like that under IAS, you guys will know yourself. You know what you're doing. You may have your arms. You keep quiet. You do every morning. You go to your work. Go to your job. Go to your mechanic or panel or war bank or whatever you are doing. When there is a danger somewhere, you alert yourself. You move in. You do whatever you want to do. Come back and go to your job. You don't go and occupy the bush and become jobless and begin to recruit people.
That means
you become a menace.
Aside from that, it means that Umagbala's report is basic. Cannot be that is what the US
never
relied on in the information gathering.
It might have contributed.
Yes,
but it can never be the only source. We have
could it be that the report is a political agenda?
You know,
yes, obviously.
You know it's not the only source.
It's not the only source.
Christian genocide is open knowledge in Nigeria. I mean, it's open. When they buried 1,000 people in Benue State under Buhari, was it not known? It was a wild cry everywhere. In Platin, Barakan, I mean, so many places they kept it. Was open knowledge. In Southern Kaduna under Rufai, like they even made them to cancel for Southern Kaduna being a deputy governor. It was almost the tradition in Kaduna State that once you have people Muslim as a governor, Southern Kaduna people produce deputy governor. But when the Yakowa took over, when Sambo was nominated as vice president, as a governor elect. Now the Sambo moved and Yakowa took over as the governor. They saw the danger there, and then they now stopped it. Now it's not Muslim ticket they are doing in Kaduna State. It was from there they imported it into the national level. They now suggested to Tinubu, the APC can try it. Let us test the waters.
So you're saying that there's a political manner and strategy which those from that region can reintegrate.
To genocide, yes.
Okay. All right.
That was in where Kanu played the role, because Nnamdi Kanu actually quenched them. This is his man with governor of Ondo State, late Akeredolu, that formed the Amoteku, and the rest of them to stop them from inflow into the southern part of Nigeria. They had an agenda. Our agenda is to clean up Christian population in Nigeria and replace them with Islamic group. And most of them that are keeping quiet, they have been benefiting from it. I don't want to say so. Look at the former Attorney General of Federation, Malami, that discovered cage of arms in his house. What is he doing with them? And he has been linked to that terrorism financing before now.
And Governor Bala Mohammed's name too was also mentioned.
So these guys are keeping quiet, thinking that they are part of the agenda. So thank God Trump came in. So nobody should go and they said that rubbish.
Okay, because again, a lot of persons were saying an agenda is being set up. Let's take a listen to Oji Uzokalu. I want to know, because in line with what you just described, I want to know what your perception is about it.
No, not because they were mentioned in the court. The court never mentioned 30,000 something Igbos that were killed. The court never mentioned about people that lost their business and run away from their villages. It's not something, I don't let me to go emotional here, because it's not something anybody can discuss. A lot of Igbos were killed, John. A lot of Igbos were killed. If you don't know it today, let Igbos stop being emotional. I want us to settle down and go on our knees and find a way that the man can be released. It's part of my job to do it. And nobody should question the decision of Justice Omotosha, because Justice Omotosha's question is a judgment of the court. What the court says, what we should start looking now, now the kind of people are going to appellate court, and we are using the political sides to solve the problem. I've told you several times on this show that people, Nigeria hate themselves. The hatred in this country is so much. Nobody, we are not nationalistic for people to say, I love Nigeria. Nobody loves Nigeria. And unless we come back to the ethos and to the reorientation of loving Nigeria, it's going to be a very difficult period to live.
But some of you boast when you are campaigning that you can get the job done.
We're doing the job. We're doing the job.
But your best seems not to be enough.
We are doing the job.
Don't feel secure.
People like you are sabotaging it.
How am I sabotaging it? Because you are the ones who boasted that you can get the job done. Now get the job.
We are doing the job. We are doing the job.
Your party have told
the sabotage you are
better than the other political.
The sabotage you are after is the problem that we're having.
Senator, I don't understand what you're talking about.
You better understand.
Why are you passing the box, Senator? You are the politician. You campaign with your political party.
Listen to
your party has the majority in the National Assembly.
Our job as a Senate, as National Assembly, is to make law and pass to the executive. And we have never failed in making those laws.
The majority political party in Nigeria who promise security of Nigeria, you don't want to accept tonight that your party has failed tonight.
People like you who aid people to hire people to destabilize Nigeria, you don't know how to stop it.
Senator,
and you are blaming the senator that don't.
I'm asking you.
No, I'm also asking you.
Your political party ABC promised Nigerian security. Has your party provided that security to Nigeria?
Would you accept? Do you know where we are today? Can you remember where we are before we took over?
You know the statistics of insecurity.
No, do you know where we are? Were you living in Abuja before? The Catholic Church here in Masaka were being bombed. Everything were being bombed. The Boko Haram took over all the Borno states, but it's just in few tiny places. These people are coming to hit and run away. We are getting to the end of it. Before, they took a whole village, a whole town, but now they are just doing a sniper job. They come, shoot, and run away. They cannot stay there any longer. Remember, this Boko Haram took almost all over northeast, took almost all northwest, but they are now being pushed away with all effort of the federal government of Nigeria and some of the state governors. So,
Kebbi is under attack, Katsina is under attack, Sokoto is under attack.
These are hit and run.
Not these are hit and run. Benue, Nasarawa.
No, these are hit and run. These people are hitting and running away. Unlike before, they took over Borno State, entire Borno State.
Are we incapable of securing this nation?
We are not incapable, but we are working with the sabotage, both internationally operated and locally operated, and so much.
I ask you, Senator, now that nnamdi Kanu has been sentenced to life imprisonment, how do you assess the verdict of the court? Legally, politically, and morally?
Well, Shaw, I want to use two theories, like I told you before in this show, that I wouldn't like to talk about those issues, but I want to use two theories that are profounded by two Nigerians just in the last 48 hours. One was Mrs. Bianca Ojukwu. Secondly, was that theory of mascot Uzokalo, who happens to be my younger brother. Their theories are perfect. It's not time for noise making. It's not time for fighting. It's a time for reflecting, sober reflection, that's if I may say that. If I want to take you to memory lane, mind you, we advise few of us, James Ibori, few of us advise President Yaradua, Saraki, and President Yaradua agreed to go to amnesty in Niger Delta. Let me tell you, when we focus solely on Nnamdi Kanu, we have to solve this problem holistically. Because
all right, Barrister John Wokede, would you agree with the summation of former governor of Abia State, Orji Uzokalo, based on what he said concerning, the situation with the Southeast in Nnamdi Kanu's case? And he talked about the fact that, just like you're saying, that the whole situation, there is a truth. People died. Politically, alignment needs to be made. But a couple of persons may not agree with Orji Uzokalo on his assessment.
For me, we need to have a holistic review of our strategy and approach to that issue.
Okay.
Very, very necessary. Because you have to do something in tandem with what is major occurrence at the moment.
Okay.
How will such initiative or such idea or such project fit into the present day occurrences or realities, Now, villages were destroyed. Like my friends in IPOP, they are not my enemies. will always say that they were infiltrated and that this actually happened. Then who started it? Who provided a platform for that infiltration? And again, as a lawyer, I also ask them this question. Now, if you're able to like start a group or start a project or start something and somebody infiltrated you, and you're not able to fish out that person, and they're able to destroy you or mess up what you started, you are wholly responsible because you started it. You can bet an organization, a group, or whatever you cannot control. We led protest in school. I formed the NGO in school that brought Kayamo as a student in the University of Nigeria when I was governor of Mbono Jikeho, one of the largest universities there. I didn't allow anybody to infiltrate it. We have inbuilt mechanisms that